Salaam alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. I have a couple of questions really. First of all, one is regarding a lot of non-Shi'as accuse the Shia of being followers of a monarchy system. In your response to this, can you please sort of verify the shura that was taken with all the Khulafa, i.e. Abu Bakr, especially Umar ibn Khattab and Uthman ibn Affan? And I also obviously believe that the shura wasn't correctly done in the correct manner to begin with. Secondly, Bilal al-Habashi, I understand obviously after after Rasul died, he was sort of nowhere to be seen in terms of where he obviously used to do the Wadan at the time of the Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But then after that, I understand obviously he disappeared. Obviously that has, I understand obviously that has some connection with his affiliation, if you like, with the regime of Abu Bakr. And thirdly as well, my question obviously has a connection with Zawaj al-Mut'ah, and how that was practiced at the time of Abu Bakr, but then no longer practiced at the time of the second Khalifa. And those are really my questions, but I have one other question as well that I wanted to ask in addition to that, which was with regards to the ayahs, and are they, we all know obviously Imam Ali alayhi salam went to the Khalifa of the time and had a supplement Quran that was arranged in chronological order, with obviously the tafsir, with the names beside, with the tafsir of the Quran describing the incidents and who they really resemble, who they're about. I just wanted to find out, are they only the surahs that were in chronological order, or was it the ayat as well that he specified in chronological order? That's really what the questions I had. And obviously, does it have an overall effect on the message? I know obviously some ayahs and some surahs, obviously the tafsir is the most important thing. But does obviously it being in chronological order have any effect on the actual overall message, if you like? I know obviously it's easier to understand, but is that sort of something that's that's sort of missing, if you like? And who were the people that compiled it? I know Imam Ali was also involved in the compilation of the Quran, not only the supplement that he had for himself, which is going to come at the time of Imam Zaman, Ajallah Sharaf al-Sharif, but also the one that we have today. I understand he obviously had a hand in that as well. So if you could clarify some of those points, and I'd like to personally thank you for what you're doing for the for the Shia school and everything. And Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you so much. Yes, so many questions. It would take a lot of time to reply to all of them. But with respect to, did any counseling occur in the Saqifa, or when Umar was appointed Khalifa, or Uthman became Khalifa? All of these occasions, there was no mashwara, there was no counseling, there was no debate actually. If you read what Bukhari himself has narrated with respect to what happened in Saqifa to Bani Sa'ida, that led to Abu Bakr becoming the caliph, and Umar is the narrator himself, and I've showed that several times from the TV. This is in Kitabul Muharibin in Bukhari, and the chapter's name is Babul Hubla, Babu Rajm al-Hubla, the stoning to death of a pregnant woman. In that chapter, Bukhari narrates on the authority of Umar himself, describes what happened in Saqifa. And he mentions that there was nothing sort of debate or getting the wisdom and opinion from everybody with respect to who should become Khalifa in Saqifa to Bani Sa'ida. Umar himself says everybody was shouting and everybody was loud, and I thought that there's going to be a serious dispute here. So I hurried and I did bay'ah with Abu Bakr. And after that, some other people also did bay'ah with Abu Bakr. And these are the exact same words of Umar that I just translated into English. I will show that to you. Kitab al-Muharibin wal-Raddah. لا إله إلا الله. Oh my God, my memory is so bad. I can't find Kitab al-Mu'abali. Here. Sahih al-Bukhari. If you go there, the Kitab al-Muharabin min Ahl al-Kufr wal-Raddah, Babu Rajm al-Hubla, the stoning to death of the pregnant woman if she fornicates. Raqam al-Hadith 6830. There, Abu Umar himself, when he explains the bay'ah of Abu Bakr, first of all he says, إِنَّمَا كَانَتْ بَيْعَةُ أَبِي بَكْرٍ فَلْتَةً. And I explained to you what is the meaning of falta. Falta means something that was out of hurry and something out of a mistake, something that happened without thinking of its consequences. That is falta. So he himself says that bay'at of Abu Bakr, the becoming of Caliph of Abu Bakr was an act of hurry, an act that we did not think of its consequences, and it was an act of mistake. And then he explains why it was of a hurry and there was no counseling and benefiting from the wisdom and opinions of everybody. And then he says,